guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we are talking about how safe our fruit and vegetables we buy from the supermarket. Well, it doesn't look that they're safe after all. Anyway, stay until the end of the video, which we're going to go through the best ways of being able to cleanse our fruit and vegetables before consumption. So first of all, you might have seen my live chat with Mark on Sunday. We were vaguely touched on the idea and the whole concept of what's currently been put in our food and in fact fruits and vegetables. And I have promised you guys to bring out this video with a little experiments to prove the point. In the end of the day, guys, anybody can talk the talk, but it is very important to demonstrate and actually to prove the point that we're talking about. So this is what I've been doing. So in front of me, you can see I've got the basic selection of citrus fruits. So I have the oranges, I have lemon, I have an apple, I know not a citrus, and I have my little cucumber. So the point is, guys, we're going to have a look and actually see what it is on our oranges. Because I bet you bottom dollar, half of you don't actually wash your lemons or oranges before peeling them or putting them in your drinks. Some of you may do, but I'm pretty sure there are people that don't. And I must say, guys, I've been one of those people that I never really used to wash the orange or satsumas. I just didn't think anything to it, because you think, well, you peel the orange, you don't need the skin, you just consume the inside. But if you actually think about it logically, when you peel your orange and it sprays all the oils and everything from the skin, it goes in your hands. So whatever was in that skin, it's now on your hand and you're going to be touching the inside of your orange. You get the gist. Anyway, so for this purpose, guys, for the purpose of this video, we're looking at some oranges first. So oranges here, and it is not like it's hidden in a plain sight. It is there. It just tells you. So the post-harvest treatment is, in this instance, 3 substances and a wax coating. And of course, guys, the wax coating be the last one on the top. So they're going to spray this with 3 things or dunk them in 3 things. And then the wax coating will be put on the top to just seal all this lovely unhealthy goodness in your produce. So without further ado, guys, we're going in. So this orange has a mesolyl, it has fludixonyl, and it has the thiabenzol. Okay, so you think, well, what does that mean to me? And of course, it has the wax on top. So what does that mean to you? Well, in fact, 3 of those things are actually fungicides. So just to bring this to your attention, guys, I'm not going to pretend to know this all by heart because I have the information here. So we're going to start just vaguely to give an idea. So first of all, the amazolyl, okay? So it's fungicide used to control fungi in agricultural settings. That is understandable, guys. In stuff in the non-organic farming, they spray stuff even whilst it's growing, not just after. So one of those, it is a fungicide, as I said. So potential side effects, and I'm going to keep it brief, includes acute exposure, so you have skin and eye irritation, respiratory irritation if inhaled, and then chronic, you could potentially develop the liver and kidney damage for the long-term exposure. Can cause a reproductive toxicity. So basically, it's a whole array of things. It is, however, important to point out to you guys, this is very, very small doses. However, my point being, we've been poisoned in a way with everything we eat. And do we really want to be consuming those extra little things of things we really don't need and the things are really bad for us? So, next thing, fludoxonyl, okay? So again, it is another fungicide used to protect crops. In this instance, is used as a post-treatment. Again, it can give you mild skin and eye irritation, respiratory irritation, gastrointestinal upset if ingested, okay? Hello, it's on the food. And the chronic exposure, again, you can have liver and kidney effects for prolonged exposure, effects on the central nervous system, and is basically a carcinogen as well. So it doesn't look that good, neither. Okay, and then we're moving on to a last one, thiabenzol, okay? So, side effects is nausea, vomiting, dizziness, diarrhea, abdominal pain, loss of appetite, fatigue, headache, and goes so on and so on. So, this is, and hear me, this is not just antifungal agent. This is also are you ready? A medicine for humans to treat internal parasitic worms. Yep, you heard this correctly. So, when they're whinging about animals and having antibiotics in animals that we consume and we become somewhat unresponsive to the antibiotics after this, they think it's okay then to coat our fruit with something that is actually a human medicine to stop parasitic worms. When I've seen this, guys, literally my heart dropped. I think it's absolutely disgusting. The whole idea, we know, okay, they want to keep our fruits and vegetables on our shelves for longer because, well, if it goes to waste, it costs them money. But it has got to be eye-opening to understand. One post-treatment, maybe, not saying it's acceptable, but maybe okay, right? But 3, and one of which is actually a human thing, to me, this is actually below the belt. So again, then, if we look at the lemons, okay, they pretty much have the same thing, but they actually do have palmethanil, which is another fungicidal thing. It is pretty much has the same side effects as the rest of them. I totally understand that they may vary because there's so many different chemicals out there. The point is as well that they have the same and they have the wax on top. Unless, of course, guys, you buy yourself an unwaxed lemon or orange. In fact, it doesn't exist, so unwaxed lemon. But chances are it might not tell you whether it's been coated with anything, especially if the APU is being used. Again, there seems to be very little knowledge or advertising to tell you it's the coating has been used on the fruits and vegetables. So guys, the point of that video is to actually spread an awareness and understanding what is happening to our food. And then, of course, guys, trying to find a solution to minimize all the stuff that we really don't want to be consuming in our diet. So to give you an example, okay, like I said, guys, so the oranges here were bought at the same time as the orange here from the pack. I've done a cleansing, or basically trying to remove the wax of the orange, then so we can potentially remove the pesticides from the orange. And here you can clearly see that the half of the orange that's been cleansed with a specific solution, it started to deteriorate, and I can see like flakes of what looks like oil, dry oil residue type thing on my fingers, and you can clearly see it is looking a little bit sad. On the other side, where we have the wax coating and all the lovely pesticides, it's still looking fairly a-okay. It is still starting to go a little bit wrinklier, but it was outside, okay, and those guys were in the fridge, so it's only natural that the fruit will start to deteriorate. So my point again, guys, to us, oranges, or any fruit in fact, been put on this earth to last a certain amount of time. And you clearly can see the things without just natural things, without any coatings, will deteriorate quicker. I know it's all be under the umbrella, let's pretend to save the world and save the food waste, but it comes under health implications for our bodies. Orange is not being meant to sit on the shelf for months and months. Okay, it's just not how the fruits have been designed. And it goes for many fruits and vegetables. They're just not designed to sit anywhere for longer than necessary. I give you my lovely example. Again, let's talk about cucumbers. And you probably bought cucumber from supermarket many times. It'll come covered in the plastic majority of the time. And, well, it will sit in the fridge for a very long time. Even if you start cutting it, piece of plastic's like still left on the other half, it will sit there for months. Okay, and this is the example of my little cucumber that I harvested yesterday from my greenhouse. And you can see already, it's lost its moisture and it's spongy. And it has been sitting in a fridge. So that shows you, whatever you guys buy, if you buy a cucumber and it will sit in your fridge for months on end, you know, it's been coated with stuff just to make it last longer. But I know people for fact that some people don't even wash their cucumbers because they assume they're covered in plastic, they've been pre-washed and ready to go. And many people don't do that. That means they will be consuming a lot of nasty stuff. So anyway, we're talking now about lemons and, not just lemons, but in fact, my little experiment with a lemon, but is kind of demonstrate also the fact, with the orange fact. When they spray pesticides, or in fact they dunk certain fungicides, they dunk the vegetables in the fungicides, okay? I'm like, people think, well, you can rinse this off, you know. Well, first of all, you got to get your wax coating off. If there's no wax coating, like other things, yes, you could potentially rinse it off. However, this is an example of the orange that's been sprayed with a food coloring, red food coloring, lemon that's been sprayed with the food coloring. And as you can see, okay, for some reason, this certain little things in the skin started to soak in the food coloring, and you will see the cells. I mean, you can see it start penetrating through the outer skin into the inner skin, and this is me, guys, scrubbing this lemon. So the wax coating has been removed, okay, like it would be before they would spray the pesticides or herbicide or fungicide. So it basically shows you that it is becomes permeable, and the whatever they're spraying on it it is leaking inside your lemon. So far here, it hasn't reached the flesh, not that physically shown by this coloring. However, be it probably sitting there for a little bit longer, chances are it might. And you know that the stuff is sitting in the supermarkets, will be sitting there for months on end in a warehouse before it gets to your supermarket. So hopefully you get the idea. To me, there was absolute eye-opener. I am, especially when I was pregnant, I was a lover of having a lemon water, and I just rinsed the lemon under, literally just under the tap, cut it, slice, and just put this in my water. And now seeing this and actually realizing how much stuff potentially leaked into that, it's actually, it is sickening. So, not saying, guys, I'm not going to stop having lemons, but you can buy unwaxed lemons. But again, I'm not really sure whether it's going to make much difference. But again, they're organic lemons. But I know for a fact that some organic produce is sprayed with the Billy Gates appeal, which is potentially, not say even worse, but it's got some other implications there, which we'll cover on a different level. But trying to find something, trying to find a happy medium, it's very, very hard. So my suggestion is, I'll be going forward, I'll be peeling the lemon, just to avoid a majority of the stuff going into my water. So and then lastly, let's guys have a look at apples. Again, you all know, probably aware that apples can sit, especially in the fridge, for a very, very long time. Apples, okay, already have their general wax coating. It's kind of natural for the fruit to have this. So if you are on the outside, if you're lucky enough to have apple growing, you can pick this and you can feel the wax coating. You can all potentially go and you can rub this, on your t-shirt, and you can see it's getting really polished. Well, in many cases, apples are also treated with extra wax on top. Yes, they're talking and they're saying this is actually very minute amount of wax, so technically, you know, it's very, very it's not having any effect on your health. However, I'm like, well, still, do I really want to eat the wax anyway? No, I don't. So if you do eat a lot of apples, do consider this carefully. And guys, like I said, do you remember, if you ever remember seeing people old days used to do this with the apples? They used to do this and then they bite it. They do this by scrubbing off the wax. Because of the skin of the apple is quite smooth, doing this, it kind of rubs off the wax on your clothing, and it's kind of a safer or non-waxy to be able to eat your apple. So that's the reason. So yes, guys, so that's that. Hopefully it's a little bit of an eye-opener there for you. I know, guys, we're fed with the crap in our food all the time, but I feel like, well, because that is the case, then obviously we need to try to eat a bit more healthy and actually generally more understand what is happening, what's added on. But once you know, once you understand, you can't really unknow, if that makes sense. So hopefully we should be able to make slightly better choices of an understanding of what it is. Yes, guys, ocean, drop in the ocean, yes, but I still don't want it. So hopefully you'll take something more from that as well. So as we're now talking about, let's actually look at the solution. And again, as we can see here with the lemon, it'll be the same with the orange. It's very hard totally to get rid of the bits that are in there, but at least we're going to do our best and try. So the solutions on the market there, guys, to cleanse your fruit and vegetables are things like this. So I have here the Aqua Pure. You would have seen me doing a review on both of those things, and have the Mirror Safety, which are the food detoxifier. The idea is they use like ultrasonic things and oxygen to be able to vibrate the particles and remove the pesticides. Of course, guys, this is only counts on things they are on the outside, so things that kind of already penetrated through, you're not really going to be able to get out. But those things are out there. Unfortunately, they're not particularly the cheapest, but I've been using them for the berries, and they do make a hell of a difference, especially if you do say grow your own berries or forage for your berries, guys. They'll be able to get like little worms or the little parasites that hide in the berries that you can't normally see or get washed out with the water. Again, they're slightly bit on a dearer scale, but they are very good. You get different settings. You can do this to meat. You can do many, many things. But this aside, guys, they are electronic and they are costing money. So the natural remedies, guys, okay? And again, some of you probably already been aware, like some of your grandmas might have been using it and you never understood why. Well, 3 options to cleanse our fruit. Well, actually 4. One of them, you just wash this and you can just wash your fruit with, say, a little bit of a washing up liquid if you really wanted to. And then scrub this, because it is obviously is a degreaser, so you'll be able to take a little bit of wax provided you use the warm water. Again, it's a bit iffy here and there, but you know, if something it's there, it's been online, information online that people did this, and it helps to remove the wax. But more natural ones, okay? Let's go with the natural ways of doing that. So first of all is vinegar. We know vinegar is an acid, so a little bit of vinegar. So you use 1 part of vinegar to 3 parts of water. and you put your fruit or vegetable in the water, let it sit there for 5-10 minutes, and then use a little scrubbing brush, invest into like one of little tiny sort of really soft bristly brushes, and you can scrub your fruit or vegetables after, and it'll remove as much as it could possibly do. Number 2 solution is salt. So you add on a couple of tablespoons of salt per a bowl, depending on the size. Again, it's also advisable to use salt with those kind of machines, because salt, it just breaks things down. And again, it's very helpful and it's a good option to do that. I personally, guys, I combine myself actually the salt and vinegar and a little bit of bicarbonate of soda, just a personal choice, but this is what I do. And spoiler alert, bicarbonate of soda and a bit of water. You might be aware, again, bicarbonate of soda and lemon juice, or in fact vinegar, it like foams up because it has the chemical reaction. You can use this in your drains, you can use this as a cleaning, so it actually works really well in terms of cleaning your fruit and veg. So that's that, guys. This is our options. So I do, guys, hope you really find this helpful. I said I was only here merely to bring this to your attention so people understand, because as longer I do my prepping journey, sort of talking to people, I actually understand that a lot of people are just not kind of aware of the current things that are happening, that what's happening to our food chain or our food in general. To be fair, myself, I wouldn't have, unless I've been sort of preparing and dealing with the food and having this as my passion, I don't think I would even really consider looking on my pack of oranges to see what sort of, herbicide, fungicides and a human medicine they're being sprayed with. Do you know what I mean? But because I do what I do, it's kind of a bit scary to suddenly, because everywhere I go now, I'm suddenly starting to look at the labels to actually understand what on earth is going on. But anyway, guys, yes, I do hope you find this video helpful. If you do think that this video is going to be helpful for other people, please don't forget to like. It'll help the algorithm, help this video, or help my channel enormously. And of course, forward this video to the people you might think find this helpful. So anyway, guys, well, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.